fight number 3 is brought to you by Stonegate Legal. We are in the bantamweight division. Please put your hands together for the red corner, Gus Bus Bernadi.
All right, fight number 3 on Coastal Combat 11. We have Gus Bus Bernadi making his walkout, fighting out of Porterhouse Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I'm loving the club name. As an old butcher myself, love the old Porterhouse.
It's a good cut.
It's definitely a good cut. So, so obviously his main coach is Brian Porter, hence the Porterhouse MMA name. And obviously Brian got his black belt under Dan Higgins, so you know he knows what he's bringing to the table and wouldn't let anyone his students or charges come into the cage unprepared. Loving the old school song as well. Saw him at the back, really comfortable, ready to throw down. And looking at the haircut as well, looks like he's been to our barber as well, the privateer barber.
Yeah, he says here his favourite submission from the top is a punch to the mouth, and I couldn't agree more. 100%.
Always the best submissions.
He just seems like a character. I can't see how this isn't going to be fun. From everything that we know about him, from everything just seeing him and his energy that he's bringing out, this is a fantastic weight class. He's come from a fantastic gym. I can't wait to get this one started.
Yeah, and having a chat with him before, saying the strength he's bringing to the table here is his wrestling and BJJ capabilities, and he lists as his favourite fighter, Khabib. Now it's just that ability to be that grinding ground control, and obviously with his coaches and the training partners he has around, I'm expecting to see that game plan kick through.
And his opponent from the blue corner, Hendrik Turnure.
And no fight is complete without a partner in their cage. And now we have Hendrik making his walkout.
Yeah, he's 10 years, the junior of Bernadi, which is going to be super interesting. But what I really like about Hendrik is that the only thing he said about this fight, he didn't say what round, he didn't say how. He said that this one will be a KO with him being the victor. I find that super interesting. He's keeping us somewhat in suspense of how he's going to do it, but he has that belief that this one is going to be a stoppage.
That's right, that's right. And in basically saying that, we've mentioned the gym, he's fighting out of south of the border as well, making his way up to the beautiful Sunshine Coast where this is held. And yeah, mate, also very, very ripped as well. Like both these boys were specimens in the way out, and they've rehydrated very, very well. I really, really love when we have the heavyweights, and now, don't worry, your screen is not on fast forward. This is what happens when you throw the bantamweights in. There'll be so much speed and everything being thrown at fast forward. It's the way this is going to go. So don't blink. There's going to be so much being thrown here.
Yeah, 100%. And you just look at the frame of Hendrik. He is so tall for a bantamweight. He's big, he's rangy, and with that Muay Thai experience that he has, this one's going to be very, very interesting. With a guy that idolizes Khabib Nurmagomedov, and a guy that just frankly is going to do whatever it takes to put this one in the win column with a knockout, this is going to be fantastic.
Both these fighters are really, really well matched up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, fight number 3 is brought to you by Stonegate Legal. We are in the amateur bantamweight division. We are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 61.4 kilograms. He trains out of Porterhouse MMA. This is his second appearance in the cage. Put your hands together for Gus Bus Bernadi. And his opponent in the blue corner, he weighed in at 61.1 kilograms. He trains out of south of the border martial arts. He is making his MMA debut. Put your hands together for Hendrik Turnure. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Peter Hickmott.
Here we go, Gus versus Hendrik.
Immediately we can see that Bernadi is in the southpaw position, creating an open stance matchup between the two, which could favour the longer man.
Beautiful power kick to the liver. And both these fighters are so evenly matched. Both blue belts and BJJ. Both have Muay Thai experience.
Oh, he knows. If you kick somebody to that side when you were a southpaw, you're neutralising to an extent that right hand. That right hand has got to be busy. We don't know if it's going to be a head kick. We don't know if it's going to the body.
Beautiful feints there as well. Just making sure that Hendrik has to do some additional work.
These open stance matchups tend to be a little slower because they're a logical match. I love seeing it.
This is that chess match with their body as the ultimate prize here.
Ooh, that was shin to shin.
Nice check.
Gus comes in.
Beautiful way of changing the movement.
Oh,
outside leg trip.
Fantastic from the overhook as well.
Sorry, inside leg trip there. Beautiful work. Nice active guard there by Hendrik as well. He hasn't made the fatal mistake of closing his legs. So I'm really, really liking this part here.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you get here and you lock your legs up, you're essentially giving away the position, allowing them to stand and then start to rain down punches.
Yeah, I'm really, really liking what Hendrik's doing here. But great pressure by Gus as well, just putting his head up against the gutter and making him work, which is really neutralising his hips and being able to do anything.
He's almost tripoding and forcing Hendrik down. He's going to have to lift him up like a battering ram and try and push that thing back. But I just don't see how it's happening at the moment. Trying to isolate an arm and go for a triangle, but it's very telegraphed at this point. At least he can try and get a scramble happening.
Yeah, he has got very high hips at some stages there, and Gus is pushed. So Hendrik is getting his head off to the side, so there is an opportunity to flick those hips up pretty quickly. I'm still liking this. He still has not closed his guard, which is great to see. But Gus is keeping him honest, making sure he swaps those around. Just doing that little bit of ground and pound.
Yeah, and I've just got Peter in the way.
And both these young fighters also have Khabib as their role model, and you can see
yeah, one more than the other at the moment.
Gus is trying to basically get that arm pinned from the opposite side, just to remove that defense ability.
This is Hendrik's debut, and he's really composed. He's on the bottom. He's not really giving anything away. He's not giving his back up to try and get up. He's staying really composed. This round might be a wash, but he can come into this second round and not really be compromised. He hasn't eaten too many big shots.
Yeah, the reason that's happening is he's actually holding down the head, stopping his posture, being able to rain down big punches. Great work. I also like the fact that Hendrik walked past there and he's not dejected, he's not upset. He just knows, okay, I didn't quite get that round, I need to bring it back. Gus will have a lot of confidence out of that round as well. He was able to implement his game plan. What do you see as the keys to success here for Gus?
Man, if you're Bernadi, you just go back to that. That he got into a striking exchange. At what point he got an overhook and went to work immediately. That's the plan. Because if you're fighting a Thai fighter who's used to getting into those grappling exchanges, these MMA ones are just so much different. In Muay Thai, you can't rip the leg, you can't sweep, you can't do those types of things. So he might be putting Hendrik into a position where he thinks he's comfortable, and then all of a sudden, bam, you get a trip.
Peter Hickmont having enough of it until the cage is closed.
And it just speaks to the level of maturity that guys get after, another kick.
Big kick.
Just after 2-3 fights, just how these guys level up.
Both fighters are super composed at the moment. This comes down to being well coached.
Oh, absolutely.
But these boys have obviously been put through the ringer.
Oh, and there one goes high. It was a switch kick with the right leg. Oh, and straight to the ground goes Bernadi.
The Superman set up. The Superman set up that takedown attempt.
Yeah, a bit of desperation there from Hendrik. He does not want to be down on the ground again, especially in bottom mount with Bernadi on top of him. He's picking up exactly where he left off in the previous round.
Yeah, so at this point, Hendrik does have the overhook on the right arm.
It's keeping that posture down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's keeping his posture down and stopping him from raining down. I wonder if he's going to look to use that as a bit of a hip bump off to the right-hand side.
Yeah, he needs to work, though. No, we can sit here and speculate all we want, but we need to see activity because this is shaping up to be an extension of the first round.
It certainly is in a tougher position. So Gus is doing a bit of a grapevine, making sure that the full force of the hips are being pushed down.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? At this point in time, cook him, make him try and burn some of that energy because it's taking mental energy just trying to get those grapevines back out again. It's taking physical energy trying to work your way back out. Things are going from bad to worse, unfortunately. And if you're Bernadi, you're loving this.
Yeah, he's got those Superman legs kicking out right now, which is driving his hips down in the solar plexus, which makes it really, really hard for Hendrik to get a breath, and also takes away his ability to be able to use his legs to bump him off. But at this stage here, he is losing oxygen, but there isn't any significant damage happening.
No, it's a really good point. At what point, when you're Bernadi, you stop cooking him and you start looking for a finish. You're looking for a sub. At least even getting to a high mount position.
So one of the reasons Gus is not able to do any damage is that Hendrik is actually holding his head down. And anytime he starts to get that momentum, he basically just pushes his head down and removes that ability to cause those big strikes. Almost kicked his hips over there enough. But Gus was able just to keep his hips nice and light.
Yeah, he floated, he stayed on top. And if you're Hendrik, when we hit these, he needs to go to a second one. Try and regain half guard.
That's where you're looking to either do one side and then pop over the other.
Yeah,
but this
absolutely.
is coming down to Gus is actually removing that ability for that explosive hip bump.
He is, and he's not sticking to the hips of Hendrik. He's floating above him, letting him sort of explode that energy up and away, and then he's settling back down on the hips of Hendrik.
Yeah, it's almost like he's willing him to give up his back. Beautiful grapevine there, which is also isolating the hips of Hendrik.
Another very strong round in the books for Bernadi. Hendrik Turnure, he's looking focused, if anything. That's 2 rounds in the book that didn't exactly go his way, but if anything, he looks focused.
Yeah, he just said no, he doesn't want the water.
We're looking at the replay here. That was a huge body kick again. And then Bernadi goes up high before securing a takedown, and this time going directly into the mount. Both takedowns have proved massively significant. 2 takedowns, and he's held him down both times, and he's dominated the rounds from there.
Yeah,
If you're Turnure at this point in time, you've got to think, look, I just got to let him go. I got to make something happen.
Yeah, and this is where the third round really makes it, and it's great as a debut fight to actually get into that third round because you actually get to see all the things that are kicking in place, and we can hear Hendrik's basically his corner telling him to get low, which means they want to isolate those takedown opportunities.
Oh, I completely agree. Because of how explosive that shot was in the second round, you want to take that away, almost get that Nate Diaz posture where he's spreading his legs wide. It might open you up to leg kicks, but man, you're possibly 2 rounds down.
Yeah, excellent. These boys are striking now. They're seeing how they're going.
And just that redness we can see here. They've turned into welts on the right side of Hendrik Turnure.
Yeah, the boys are obviously trying to download how to work each other out. So Gus knows what his keys to success are. At this stage, Hendrik is trying to implement his game plan.
Again, you can hear the corner calling for him to stay low. He's looking for those shots that are going to do significant damage.
Hendrik looked like he's loading up that right hand. Sorry, he's waiting to throw that right hand. There it is, right on the money.
Looks like he's trying to time it on the kick, which is a bit of a gamble. Oh, and a left hook there. Oh, he's found a home for that left hook on the blind side of the southpaw.
He's got a third.
Oh, he tries to go high, and Bernadi just eats it like a sandwich, takes him down, and again we're against the cage.
Yeah, and that's good work. He used the wall to help himself get up.
Oh,
Tries to
100%.
spin it around. I can hear his corner in the background. He's happy.
Oh, and he switches from the guillotine to an underhook, and it's not enough. Bernadi in his corner.
Horrible place to be taken down. Especially as the person on the bottom, you've got the other corner in there.
Hendrik's still looking to throw up a submission. He's not out of this fight yet. He's still got a minute to work. We've seen crazier things.
We certainly have. And from this point here, it looks like he's almost looking for a kind of a almost a Kimura grip of some type, but he's looking to isolate that leg and get those hips, legs up and over for maybe for a triangle finish. But it's going to be really, really hard from half guard with those bottom legs locked in place. So while he was popping those hips up, Gus basically jumped across to the half guard. And just see how deep that Gus has that hand on. He's got it on the opposite hip. That's what's making it really hard for Hendrik to get up and take any striking.
Even giving up his back at this point in time and this deep into the fight, give your back up, do something.
See if you can get him high and shrug him off.
Absolutely no quitting him. He's been flattened out, the worst possible position to be in MMA, in my opinion.
Especially with your head right up in the gutter.
Oh, beautiful. Getting the hooks in there from Bernadi. Things getting bad to worse for Hendrik, who's got no quit in him whatsoever, but Bernadi's testing every single bit of that with 10 seconds left.
At this stage, Gus is just looking to put on a bit of a clinic here, and here we have the end of the day. Both fighters on debut. Beautiful sign of respect at the end.
Absolutely, and here we go back to the replay. A little bit of success there with Hendrik in the third round. There's those body shots from Bernadi. They were huge. We can see the welts on the body of Hendrik. And here the 1-2 puts Bernadi back. This is the third round. It was a little bit too little too late. Fantastic showing from Bernadi, who got the fight where he wanted it and kept it there.
I really like the level change that Gus was able to do when that big high kick came through. He basically level changed on it. Here we go, right there.
He was almost biding his time.
He certainly was, just waiting for some, because Hendrik did throw a high kick earlier in that round, and Gus was just kind of waiting for it again, just looking for the tell. But absolutely great to see both fighters get out of the third round. Didn't look like any significant damage, so they both will fight their next fight as well.
Yeah, I agree. That's a fantastic loss. I know it sounds strange for a guy like Hendrik who has Muay Thai and striking experience to get a taste of MMA, get the grappling loss out of the way, because a lot of strikers have that one grappling loss and then it propels them to get in the gym. All right, where did I go wrong? Have a newfound love, almost out of spite for grappling.
Creates that hunger.
Oh, it does. It does. It does. If you've got like a nice healthy ego, nobody likes to lose like that. And it's good to get it out of the way when you're an amateur.
I was really impressed with both fighters. And once again, how good is the matchmaking?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And here we go for Peter Hickmott to make it official.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we have a decision. All 3 judges score the bout for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Gus Bus Bernadi. All right, I'm here with your winner, Gus. Your first win in the cage. Tell me how you're feeling.
Exhausted, really exhausted, but I'm really happy the whole camp worked out. It was very specific, and we managed to do exactly what we planned for.
Yeah, it looked like you had a game plan. You had a lot of control time there, so it looks like everything went your way.
Yeah, I think so. I think everything we planned for panned out.
Excellent. All right, you go enjoy your win. Put your hands together for Gus Bus Bernadi.